meant for the greater good, they're going to be down here with these devils suffering. You know, you want to walk in the path of these devils, well, you're going to have to taste the same judgment as these devils. Go on, brother. It's either one of the two. It's either you down with the righteousness of the Heavenly Father and his men, or you down with the wickedness of Esau. And if you want to follow Esau, you can follow him to. You can also follow him to his destruction as well. All right. Go on, brother.
Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh.
That's all I need, because that's going into something else.
I've got a precept.
Yeah, go on.
To the one we just said.
Yeah.
Daniel 12:3 says, and they that be wise shall shine as brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
So we're going to be glorified in the kingdom as well. Not only are we going to be saved from all of this turmoil, which would hit this earth crazy,
Right.
the time of Jacob's trouble, but in the kingdom of set up, we're going to be glorified greatly, because we stood, we stood so stiffly for the word, even in the days of this, as we're living in right now, in the days of great wickedness, we still held on to the word of the Lord, man. So there's a reward for the righteous. Got something going, brother.
Can I just add a quick point?
Yeah.
He's talked about shining as brightness of the firmaments.
Yeah.
When they say, now's your time to shine, that saying, now's your time to shine, you know, when a man's going to go on stage and he's going to do what he's going to do. So that's going to be the righteous man's time to shine. We're not getting no shine at the moment. Here and there a little bit, you know, on YouTube and thing, but we ain't getting no shine. But then, as when the brother said, yeah, that's going to be the time, you know. That's it's going to be a good time for the righteous. We're going to see them going down steeply, suffering, wanting to kill people for food to survive. We're going to be laughing, man.
Yeah,
you know?
in that day. Well, that's in the book of Job, the 5th chapter. It says that in those days, in the days of famine, I believe it says you shall be laughing, something like that.
At famine and destruction thou shalt laugh.
That's it right there. So we're gonna have that kind of state of mind. But the reason why that is because also we're gonna be found eating on that day too. The Lord is gonna take care of us. Because if you're starving and you're hungry, just like these boneheads are gonna be in that day, how are we gonna be laughing and giggling in that day? We can't be. So the Lord is gonna put the Spirit on us, and also He's gonna feed His men in that day. Those that have did the labor, that have did what the Lord told them to do. Go on, brother.
So a quick one. This is Amos chapter 3, and I'll start from verse 13.
Yeah.
And it says, hear ye and testify in the house of Jacob, saith the Lord power, the power of hosts.
So who's the house of Jacob? The house of Jacob is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, the whole nation. That's what it represents, the whole house. Go on.
In verse 14, in that day that I shall visit the transgressions of Israel upon him, I will also visit the altars of Bethel, and the horns of the altar shall be cut off and fall to the ground.
Right. If you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, because you know, we're talking about, like, you know, the Jake not listening, man. And basically following on in Esau's way, the Lord's going to visit the transgressions of the house of Jacob, man. Yeah. Because it says in verse 13, testify in the house of Jacob. And basically the prophets, man, they've been out there teaching, man, but you haven't listened. Okay, so then the Lord says, I'm going to visit your transgressions, man, you know, and the altars of Bethel. Because what you've done is, if you've turned away from the sacrifice of the truth and taken onto the sacrifice of the devil, man, so the Lord is going to kill you for that, man, you know. And that's the thing with Jake. Jake take everything as a joke, man. Yeah, you know, they're always talking about you know, the extreme droughts, the famines and stuff. Any little thing, even this whole COVID situation, you know, Jake find a way to make everything funny, man. Yeah, they do. You know, but the time is coming when the joke's gonna be on you. You know, you won't be eating, all right? And when they lock off that internet, man, that's when people go and get scared. Yeah. Because everybody seeks validation, man. The validation is in the book, right? You know, but everyone's on the internet, on this fucking social media, seeking validation and making a laugh and hee 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 ha ha ha. But when that's done, man, then everybody look to the left, look to the right. There's nowhere to go, man. Yeah. You know, but we have the word, man. You know, so the Lord's gonna mess you up, man. You know, because people think it's a joke, man. You know, for real.
Yeah, people actually think it's a joke out here, but like you said, brother, the joke's gonna be on them. Go on, brother.
Something for you. This is Jeremiah 2 and 8. The priest said not, where is thy Lord Yahawashi? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me. And the prophets prophesied by Baal.
Right.
and walked after things that do not profit.
Yeah, so you had false prophets that was in the spirit of Baal, which means Satan. Or it could also mean Lord as well.
Yeah.
It could also mean Lord, but their Lord was of a different power. So they were going under that vibration, as well as you have right now. You have the boys in purple. They're saying, look, the name of the Lord is not really that important. You can call him whatever you want to call him. You can pray in a different name. It really makes no difference. You understand? But that's the spirit of Baal that they're in. It says that there's 7,000 men that were reserved that should not bow the knee to Baal. That's in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter. And that's talking about us, the elect. Lord willing, we were those men. And we're not doing that right now. We're not in league with this world. We're not doing as this world is doing, because we know that this world is evil and wicked, and we also know that this world is going to perish, and it's going to be done away with by a way of fire, which is kept and been preserved for. Go on, brother.
This is verse 9. Wherefore I will plead with you, saith the Lord Yahawashi, and with your children's children will I plead.
Yeah.
For pass over the isles of Chittim and see.
Meaning he's going to punish them.
Yeah.
That's what the word plead means. When you look up the word plead, I believe it means shapat, which
Shaphat
means
is judge. To
judgment.
man.
So he's going to judge you. 2/3 will be judged. That's in the book of Zechariah 13, verse 8. Right along with the so-called cave dweller. The so-called white man I'm talking about. If you didn't understand what I was saying there. All right? They will be judged, and you will be judged right along with them. If you don't get your ass up, man, and wake the hell up. All right? Go on, brother.
Verse 11. Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Right.
But my people have changed their
You
glory.
got the ones of our people that's into Kemetic science and Egyptology and all of this bullshit, you know, and that's going to lead them astray. That's going to lead them to their damnation. And you got the ones of our people that are calling themselves Muslims and becoming imams of the mosque and all of this nonsense, not realizing that this is their way to go. This is the right way to be. This is the way you're going to succeed, okay, by this truth. Go on, brother.
Quick one on the Salafi, I know you got some more. Quick one on the false prophets and that. Micah 3,
Go on.
I'll start from 1. And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob,
Yeah.
and ye princes of the house of Israel.
Right.
Is it not for you to know judgment?
Right.
Who hate the good and love the evil?
Right, because it's in their right to know judgment. It's in their right to know what's right and what's wrong, because and more in depth, because they have the law. The Heavenly Father gave them the law. Like when Moses went in Sinai, he went to go get the laws in the different books. That's why as we have it, we have the book of Genesis, we have the book of Exodus, we have all of these different books. Okay? So that our forefathers at the time could read these books and learn something, man. And what are they going to learn? Most importantly, by keeping those commandments. So it's in them for them to know the judgment, but they've discontinued from knowing the judgments, and this is how the Lord have discontinued from us as a people. Well, I would say he's discontinued from the 2/3 of his people, by the way. At one time or another, we were all discontinued from the Most High. We've all fell away, right? But then eventually the elect came back on the scene and got the word. As it is yet this very day. And then eventually when the kingdom of heaven is set up, all of Israel is going to have the word, from the least to the greatest of them. All right? But let's read this, though. I want to get back on my train of
But
thought.
my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
Right.
Be astonished, ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye verily desolate, saith the
Right.
Lord Yahawashi.
Yeah.
For my people have committed 2 evils.
Yeah.
They have forsaken me.
They're forsaking the Lord. And that's why niggas is getting shot in the street. That's why the devil is coming down on them. You know? With the rap that he's coming down with. Because Jake don't want to get engaged. Jake don't want to listen. All right? Like the dude on, what's the guy's name? Dante White, you said, right?
Yeah.
The little youth man.
Yeah.
He was asking for it, man. I'm not going to be getting upset over because he got shot down by the police. He was asking for it. The dude was acting like a miscreant.
In Job 4.
So, you know, if you want to act like a miscreant, you're going to get a miscreant's reward. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me. The fountain of living waters.
Right, and that's why these devils can smile at us right now. Because we've sinned. These cave dwellers can look at us and smile at us
No respect.
with no respect. Because we've sinned against our power. This is the shit we got to do. But eventually, we're going to wind up kicking them upside the head, and we're going to be smiling while we're doing it. at the same time. That's what they don't realize, you see. So right as it stands right now, they could point the finger, look at you niggas, look what you niggas are doing. But meanwhile, what they're really missing is the corruption of their own government. That's what they're missing. And that their corrupt government is gonna pretty much be to their downfall. To the point where they're gonna get involved in a nuclear war, and that nuclear war is gonna destroy the whole society, and they're gonna be pretty much leveled all the way down to the ground. And then in the midst of all of that, they're gonna be confused, they're gonna be bugged out, and they're gonna be pretty much ready and prepared, ready made to be slaves, baby boy, for us. Go on, brother.
And huge amount systems, broken systems that can hold no water.
Right.
And I've got another precept to link up with that.
Right. Broken systems that can hold no water. Because what is the real water you want? This truth. This is the real water. Once you get this water, you will never be able to thirst never again. And I mean that.
That's spiritual, elder, because you got water in your hand as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cut. Oh, yeah, cut. I got water in there. So I mean, this is the water. We have the real water. And we'll never thirst again. It says, whosoever drink of this water shall not be athirst. Meaning we're going to have an abundance of righteousness. We're going to have an abundance of wisdom and understanding. And with that wisdom and understanding, we'll be guided in the right path. And with that being the case, we won't have to deal with our enemies coming up against us, like how they shoot niggas down in the street. We don't have to worry about that because we're taken care of. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes. So once you got this truth, you are covered all the way in through, spiritually and also mentally and spiritually. All right? I'm talking about through your pineal gland. Go on.
Go, quick precept. Because some people think they got the water, but they don't.
Oh, yeah.
This is John chapter 4.
They got that acidic water.
Yeah, acidic
brother.
water.
Oh, that's stagnant.
Yeah, stagnant, yeah. John chapter 4, verse 8. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest me of drink, who am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Then Yahawashi answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who it was that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou would have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep, for whence thou have living water. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Yahawashi answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again.
Exactly.
But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. So I can read that again. Verse 4. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst.
Right, shall never thirst.
But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life.
So that's how much wisdom you're going to have. You're going to have so much wisdom that it's going to be like water. Because water represents abundance. Like when you go to the seaside, we call it the beach in America. When you look far away, all you're seeing is an abundance of water. And even when you get into the water and you swim, there's small water beneath. There's layers of water. All right. So that's what we represent with this knowledge and this understanding. We represent men with an abundance of wisdom and understanding. All right. And with this wisdom and understanding, you're going to be led in the right direction. All right. Because you're going to see the snares, you're going to see who your enemy is, you're going to see A, B, and C. And I just want you to read Revelations 5:5 one more time. I want you to get back to the book being open. All right? Go on, brother.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 5. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And behold, and lo, in the midst of the throne and the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb.
Check this out, right? Because I was even saying earlier before, which I was kind of going off. Really, the only thing it takes is for the Lord to, because what I was saying, you need the prophets, but even the prophets at one time was in a dead state. Because it doesn't say in the scriptures, it says, he that remaineth out of the he that remaineth in the congregation of
the dead.
No.
I know what you're talking about. Let
He
me
that
just-
runneth out of the way of understanding
There you go.
remaineth in the congregation of the dead.
Yeah.
The water. Yeah, so we was out of the way of understanding. So what did we become? We became dead, just like how the rest of our nation became dead. But the Lord tapped into the minds of all of the men that you see before you, and including us, as we are yet this day standing here as the prophets of the Lord, and gave us this knowledge and this understanding. Now we're standing upon our feet. Now we've been made to be alive again. So let's read this.
Yeah, so back in Revelation 5, and it says, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High, sent forth into all the earth.
Yeah.
And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 40 and 20 elders fell down before the Lamb,
Which represents the angels. Go on.
having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints.
Come on.
And they sung a new song, saying,
And check this out. They sung a new song saying. So they sung the song after the books was open. So what are we singing? These scriptures. Go on, brother.
Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us unto the Most High by the blood of every kindred.
Right, so it took Yahawashi to invigorate us back all over again with his word. It only took him. It took him to get us away from our sins by him shedding the blood, okay, and the blood being casted upon us, just like during the days of old, during the time of ancient Egypt, when the Israelites pretty much got them both some form of cattle and sprinkled it in I know it was also they got like goats and lambs, and they sprinkled it on sprinkled the blood of the lamb or the whatever cattle they had, and they posted it on the door. And when the angel of death was in the midst, they survived that. They survived the times of death when the times of death came. So when the times of death and destruction comes upon us, we're going to be covered because we have the blood of Yahawashi upon us. Therefore, we will be led to being saved, as well as the children of Israel were saved during that time. Go on, brother.
Quick precept. This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I know even also as I am known.
Right.
And I say that because as the elders getting into in Revelation 5, Yahawashi is the only one that could open the book because he was given the full knowledge, man. The rest of us, we were given in part. That's why it says, I see through a glass yet darkly, you know. But Yahawashi is the one that was given 100%. So he was the only one worthy of the Father as the first begotten to open the book.
Very good point.
You know.
Very good point.
Anyways, let me continue. In verse Revelation 5 and 9, and it says, and has redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
Now that sounds like every single nation under the sun. But it's not, man. It's talking about the Israelites, because the Israelites were scattered abroad among the heathen. Okay? That's what that goes into. Because the Lord did not die for all nations. The Lord only died for the children of Israel, which we are those people. Go on.
And it says, and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
And let's prove that, if you can. I'll get the book of John 11. I believe it's the book of Luke 11, or probably John, where it talks about the high priest Caiaphas. Because the high priest Caiaphas knew something. And he knew that a man was going to come that shall what? Die for the nation. Not nations, but die for the nation. All right? So all of the men of the Lord that came before Yahawashi knew this. They knew that a man was going to come out of the midst, especially Moses. Moses even said it to the children of Israel. There's going to come a man among your brethren that you shall hearken unto, and he will pave the way. All right? But that's going somewhat into a different area. But let's just get into this.
This is John 12 and 49, and one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest the same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people.
So it says it is expedient for us that one man shall die for what?
For the people.
For the people.
And the whole nation perish not.
And the whole nation, not nations, but the whole nation perish not. Go on.
And this spake he not of himself, but being a high priest that year,
Right.
He prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation.
Right. He prophesied that Yahawashi shall die for that nation. What nation is that? The children of Israel.
You hear that vocab?
Right. Exactly. So he didn't come to die for nobody else rather than the children of Israel. And he has to get that through his thick skull, through that stupid hat he be wearing all the daggone time, man.
Yeah.
You're not a part of this. If you're an Edomite, you are not a part of this vocab. You're not a part of this, all of you different groups out there that wants to suppress the doctrine of this truth for the children of Israel. Go on.
Yeah, and not for that nation only, but also he should gather together in one.
Right, and he shall gather together in one. The elect are going to be gathered together in one. All right? And more so when you go a little bit deeper, what that's really going into is what's written in the book of John 10. If you can, brother, give me the book of John 10.
Yeah.
You know where it says the sheep of this fold? So read that one more time, brother, that same verse.
But I got John 10 if you want that, because it's just a page after that. You want me to read John 10?
You know what I'm talking about,
16,
right?
yeah.
Come on, go on.
And other sheep I have which are not of his fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
And then you know what that's talking about too? That's talking about even the Gentiles, the ones of our people that will even escape away from the commonwealth of Israel. So it applied even at that time during the time of the Apostle Paul, and as well as it applies in this age, because in this age, what happened to us? I'm not talking about this particular age, but I'm talking about during something that happened during the time of the Assyrian captivity. And the northern kingdom, they went away from Samaria, which was the northern part of Israel, and they went to go serve the Assyrians. And through the Assyrian captivity, they went into a faraway place, which is called Assyria, which means another land, which would be the Americas. All right, and they had their own little doctrine and belief systems as well as we had ours. But now we're in a time where the northern kingdom, they're coming back to who they are, and they're also a part of the grace of Yahawashi as well. That's what's being done. That's what the Lord is doing. He's gathering all of the tribes together. It says that in the book of Genesis 49 too. You know.
And not, we're back on John 11 and 52.
Yeah.
And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one.
Yeah.
The children of the Most High. That was scattered abroad.
There you go. That was scattered abroad, and that still stands even right now, because we're all scattered abroad. And you have camps of, brothers that are in different countries, man. That are serving different nations, different variants of Edomites, man. You have a GMS camp in Germany. I believe you have, 3 camps in Germany now? You have another camp in Holland. Big ups to them brothers in Holland, man. Them brothers have been doing it for years, you know? So there's camps all over the globe. Brothers that have been invigorated with this work.
I saw GMS Australia the other day.
Oh yeah, come.
All the way on the other side of the world, man.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, come. And big ups to them brothers as well, because them brothers is doing it too. You know, all of you brothers out there, man, salutations. So yeah, we're in that time of the Lord gathering the elect on a spiritual level and making them to see the truth. All right, go on, brother. So if we've all been gathered to see the truth, then the truth is going to lead us to what? Salvation.
That was it on that.
Go on.
More.
That's it. Let's get this out.
Yeah. So back in Revelation 5 and 10, and has made us unto our power kings and priests.
Right, and made us unto our power kings and priests. Go on.
And we shall reign upon the earth.
And we shall reign upon the earth. That's the next level. We're going to get to the next level of reigning upon the earth. All right? That's going to be our next bus stop. Like you get on the bus, right? Or you could even be on the train. And you may have to get off, 5 stops down to get to your stop. So the next stop is going to be us reigning the earth. All right? And this is what Esau's trying to edit out. But it can't be done. Esau ain't on them kind of levels the way he can edit his destiny and our destiny. Our destiny has already been preordained and sealed to happen. So we're not going to be in no hood rapping and wrapping it up and doing, body pops and splits and begging for attention, selling out to the devil. We're not going to be always on that level. We're going to be on a level where we're going to be ruling the world, beginning with the elect. All right, we're going to bear the responsibility in dominating the world in the righteous order. All right, because the so-called white man failed miserably doing it, and they're not the right people to rule anything. They're the people of death and destruction, and that's why the earth is in a definite destructive kind of vibration, because you have animals. I'll use even a better word, because an animal even has more sense than they have. I would say peasants. All right, you have peasants ruling the earth. You have peasants exalting themselves like they're the real royals, when in fact we're the royals and they're the peasants. It says that in the scriptures too. Yeah. All right. It says that what is it? The rich sit in low places, and the poor are riding horses, something like that.
I've seen servants upon horses.
Right, servants upon horses. And you know what too? The Rothschilds, their last name used to be the Bauer family. The word Bauer, as the Apostle Gabar broke it down, simply means peasant. So they're the real peasants in power. All right. So you have the royals, because you see, I'm going to just say this, right? The Most High made everybody to be a certain way. And if it's your role, if you are of a nation that are, peasant-like, you're going to be peasants no matter where you're at. You could be in a high and exalted state. You're going to still be, a peasant. Yeah. You could be a poor man and you could still be royal, because that's your spirit. Right. So we as a people, we're the natural royals. We're the natural real royals of the earth. That's why we fantasize about nice things, nice shoes and clothes and all of that other stuff, because that's our spirit. Their spirit ain't that. Their spirit is just looking raggedy and shit, because they're the real like peasants that the Heavenly Father created to be. You can even read that in the book of Job. What is it? Job, the 30th chapter, I believe. And Job was even saying that they were the basest, they were the vilest of all men. They were the vilest. And they're the basis of all men. That's what I wanted to say. They're the basis of all men. So there you have it. So it doesn't matter where they're at in the world. They are who they are. And they're going to be the basis of, as they can be, until the very end, because that's their spirit going on.
So I remember one time it was back in King's Cross, right? And they would go and get drunk, and the elder said, "You see, this is their true nature, because that 9 to 5 wearing the suit and acting all, nice and stuff, that's an act, man. But on the weekend, that's when their true spirit comes out, walking on the road with fucking bare feet, drinking their hand, floppy and shit. Yeah. That's the Edomite's heaven, man. That's their true nature. They can't help it.
They call it getting shit-faced.
Yeah, white boy wasted.
Yeah.
That shit.
That's their spirit. Like the brother brought it back to me, man. I forgot about that shit.
Nature.
Yeah, come.
Okay, continue?
Yeah, go.
Revelation 5, where was we?
Verse 11.
Verse 11, come. And I beheld, and there was a voice of many angels round about the throne, and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000, 10 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands, saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power."
So that's respect for your ass. Here it is, man. You got the angels, the thousands of angels that are reverencing Yahawashi. So as soon as Yahawashi died on the cross, he automatically received his position on the earth. And I mean, obviously the angels would worship him because he's on the right-hand side, right next to the Most High. So just imagine if we have to go through what we got to go through and we pass the test with flying colors. We gonna automatically be exalted, man. You know what I mean? And that's where the bus is going to stop for the Israelites. Beginning with the elect. And I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about those clowns up in in Israel. I'm not talking about them guys. I'm not talking about them 1948ers. Because they're just a bunch of clowns perpetrating a fraud, acting as though they're us. And they know who the Israelites are. They know it's us. Go on, brother.
And you talk about the bus, right? Our stop is the last stop, man. Because the scripture says Israel, world without end. After us, there's no bus stop after us, man. In TFL, this bus terminates here. This is it, man. Our stop is it, man. Yeah, verse 11, and it says, 10,000, 10 times 1,000, saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing, and every creature which is in heaven and on earth and under earth, and such as are in the sea."
See, that's the magnificence of Yahawashi, man. He's got that level. He's on that kind of level of magnificence where even the physical things worship him, as well as the spiritual things worship him. That's respect. But he had to go through the cross to get all of that. So how much more us? In order for us to get some kind of respect, the way that the Lord is going to give us the respect, which is going to be abundance of that, we have to go do out there. We got to go do the shit, you know, as well as he did. We're no different than Yahawashi. Yahawashi is our master, and we are his servants. His servant is not more than his master, is he? All right, go on.
And it says, and all that are in them heard I saying, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. And the 4 beasts said, Amen. And the 24 elders fell down and worshipped him that liveth forever and ever.
And that's what John the Revelator saw. He saw the majesty of the Mashiach Yahawashi. And when Yahawashi comes back, the whole earth is going to tremble under his presence, because he's going to show himself to be the boss. All right? And he's going to show himself to be for the children of Israel, as it says in the book of Joel. We just read that in the book of Joel 2:27. If you can, I'll give you that again. And then everybody's going to know that we're a special people, ultimately. Because see, it's not going to take the Most High much to show the world that. The only thing that the Lord has to do is come down, do what he said he was going to do in the scriptures. And automatically people are going to be believers overnight, and they're going to believe and know together that we're the sons of God. All right? It's just that right now people have been clouded from knowing that. Because we got to suffer the curses. We have to bear what? The indignation of the Lord first. So let's just say people knew who we were. How would we bear the curses? How would we be able to bear the curses as we're bearing it right now? For 400 or 500 years plus. It wouldn't happen. So the Lord made it to the point where the nations basically disregarded that. Forgot about all of that shit. Right? And now no one sees us as that. And that's also prophesied as well in the book of Hosea. It says that in the land where it was said that you are not my people, it will be known that you are my people. So that knowledge of understanding will be wiped away from off the face of the earth. That were the Israelites. But then again it would come back, because the time that we're in right now, which is what we were approaching in the past, we're in the end. Okay? So in the end, all of the books must be open. The book must be open. Go on, brother.
Joel 2:27. And you shall know that I am the Lord's. Slakia, and you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Right, and you shall know the Lord, and that I am in the midst of Israel. You got that vocab once again? That the Lord power is the God of Israel. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the God of the people of the covenant. He is not the God of every nation. And you can't use Abraham, because Abraham had 8 sons, and the 6 of them were not a part of the covenant. All right? They were not a part of the covenant. It was only Isaac. Was his seed counted? Let's get that in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. See, we reading all of these different books. We're reading the book of Romans. We're delving into the book of Revelations. All of these books out of the Bible. So it's all coming out, and it's all being declared that we weren't just a bunch of niggas, as what was told to us in the world. That we're more than just that. We're more than just niggards. That's really the right way to pronounce it. That we're the sons of God. We're the Israelites. And we have a bright future. So bright beyond our comprehension. Go on, brother.
I am the Lord, Yahawah. Yahawah, I will show your power.
Yeah.
And none else. And my people shall never be ashamed.
And my people shall never be ashamed. Because the world is going to be seeing our glory. Because his name will be placed upon us. All right. So if the Lord is magnified, then we're going to be magnified, because we're going to be under his name. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the Lord, let the Lord get his shine. Let the Lord do what he got to do, because it's the rightful order anyway. He's the creator, so he deserves all of the magnification, as well as the Son does. And then later on, it will trickle down to the nation. Well, first the elect